small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall.
Hey, what's up my viewers? It's your girl Megan making a YouTube video, and today I'm doing something a little different than I usually do. I'm doing a reaction video, and that's why you're not seeing my beautiful face today. And I'm going to be reacting to a lesson in Practicality. I think that's how I'm saying it right. I hope I am. Episode 1, the plot, suicide animation. And if you, there's actually a story to this animation. For the last month, I've been obsessed with suicides, and I just love it so much. I love it, and I need to at least be watching suicide video like almost every day, because I just need to. You can see it on the sides. I watch a lot of Thomas Sanders videos. Yes, Thomas Sanders, the famous viner, okay? So I'm going to be reacting to this animation, a fan animation that's been made, which is based off this fanfic, which is so this different girl, not the one making the animation, wrote this fanfic with 25 chapters in it called A Lesson in Practicality, and the first chapter is called Proc. It's the story about using the suicide's characters, like using all the four sides of Thomas and kind of like just in the story and giving them like situations and like stuff like that. If you don't know what suicide is, it's mainly the series where Thomas Sanders kind of just where he really, I mean, think about it. I don't know why I think so hard about this. Like, I watch it every day. He talks to like the four different sides of himself. And, like, he has his logical side, his morality side, his creativity side, and his anxiety side. So we're going to be watching this. I want to keep this very short, so I'll leave a description down below to Sanders' sides, and I'll leave a description to Thomas Sanders and to this video. So, this animation is the first chapter of, like, that book, and it's a book. I read it, like, I'm calling it a book, it's not a book, it's just this big fanfic that someone wrote, and I, like, love it. It's, like, so, like, good, and, like, it's just, like, and, like, the animation came out for it, and I was just like, okay, I need to be, like, reacting to this on my channel. So we're gonna be, watching this. So it's literally just, the creative animation is just from reading it, and like she doesn't have voice actors for the characters yet, but let's get into it. Just want to quickly check something, guys, before doing this. Okay, actually, I'm recording. So right, there we go. Okay, let's start this. Alright, just kinda... Oh, I didn't speak that.
It was normal, considering they were all living in the city and short on cash. They all entered the app and searched for roommates. It was normal, considering they were all living in the city and short on cash.
Oh my gosh.
They all answered the ad and searched for roommates. The apartment was conveniently located for all of them, as if the universe had handpicked the perfect place. Maybe it had.
Roman.
All in their mid-20s had stumbled upon an apartment for rent. Central location, decently priced, but the apartment housed four. That was how they all met. The day they moved in, Logan was the first there. Door unlocked and already moved into the smallest room tucked away in the back. Logan greeted Patton, the first to show up. The third was Roman.
I'm sorry, Patton's my favorite character. He is, okay? Don't blame me.
Introducing himself proudly. They went over designated areas and rooms. Roman needing extra space for some of the props he got to keep off the place he performed on the set. And the others agreeing to share a little space in the decently sized living room as long as he kept his space.
Yep.
Hours later, the sun had already begun to set, and pizza being ordered while the other two unpacked, Virgil showed up. He kept quiet and ducked into the last unclaimed room, second smallest only to Logan's. He hardly carried anything with him. All his materials fit in a backpack and a duffel bag he had carried. They all sat quietly.
Okay, can I just say something about this, okay? Because, okay, so See, I've already read the book, and this is just her reading, like, the story. And, like, in the third chapter, I mean, not the third chapter, there's a chapter called How It All Began, and they mainly, like, really focus on that part we just saw. I'm so far. They really mainly just focus where they, like, you know, talk to, like, they really get into how they introduced each other and that stuff. It's called How It All Began. And it says in the book, Virgil came in, like, during night and everybody was asleep. And the only one who knew he was there was Patton, because Patton was awake. And he's just like, oh, hello there, you must be, like, the last guy. And, like, even when they woke up, they're like, Patton's like, oh, and then they're like, Patton was making breakfast. And then they're like, you don't need to make that much for all three of us. And he's like, well, what you mean four? There's, you know, the other guy taking last night. Then why is he eating pizza with them?
Themselves.
It's a good picture, but just like,
and
why?
Garlic nuts, getting to know their new roommates.
Unless it's in Practicality. Which I don't think I'm saying that right.
It had started with Patton a couple of weeks later.
Start with Patton.
Everyone was at work, and Patton had been cleaning up the apartment. They all had day jobs that conflicted most of the time.
Well, look at Roman's there has like a star on it.
They left him alone in the slightly messy complex. Having nothing to do but wait for the others to get home for dinner, he spent part of his days to clean when he could, and it was his turn.
That's so cute.
He never really minded.
Hair.
The others usually consolidated their messes to their room, and he always had a knack for being able to clean rather quickly.
I wonder how.
Which left Virgil rather confused as he watched two separate people simultaneously cleaning the dishes in the kitchen and vacuuming in the living room. Moving back from one room to the other.
Two. I'm gonna cry. It's two.
Pat? Yeah, kiddo. The Patton doing the dishes looked
did
up at him
good,
and suddenly
actually.
panicked.
Like, she
The
should
one
have
in
the
the
Game
living
Boy
room
section. She's so
vacuuming,
good.
not hearing over the noise. Look, try not to freak out. He spoke, drying his hands on a towel and making his way over. I can't explain. Please tell me you have a twin who has the same wardrobe as you. Not exactly.
Some kids do.
Virgil! The other Patton
It's
shouted,
two!
turning off the vacuum. You're home early? How wonderful! He made his way over and smiled, not hiding the panic from his face. There's a perfectly understandable and totally not bizarre reason as to why there's two of me.
That's one way to say it.
Virgil looked back and forth between the two. The one from doing the dishes shrugged as a response. He's Bulgar? The second Patton shrugged unsure. The Patton from the kitchen put
He's
down
a
the towel
burglar.
and dry his hands with.
Best answer
That's
ever.
not going to help, silly. Well, I can't think of anything, can you? Well, I am you, so obviously not. Virgil took a step back towards the front door,
mean, like,
watching
okay.
the man argue with his reflection. Maybe could I... The one who had come from the living room took a step towards the other and
Daisy,
stretched
be
out his
quiet.
hand to the one who had been doing the dishes in the kitchen. The second one signed and nodded, reaching out his hand. In a flash of light, suddenly there was but one singular
there's
Patton
just
in the
one
room,
now.
and a very confused anxious Virgil.
The very
What
confused
was
Virgil.
that? Please don't tell the others, but
So that's Patton is
duplicate myself. Patton shrugged and smiled as if he hadn't just thought of
Thomas's
nonsense.
morality, and Virgil
Virgil
is
rubbed his eyes with
is,
his
um,
hand, signing
is,
and trying
is
to convince
Thomas's
his now growing
anxiety.
headache to go away. Patton, I had a rough day. Can we talk about this later after I freak
duplicate
out?
yourself, Patton. Good job.
Sure, let me know,
Many
okay?
buddies.
Virgil silently walked out of the room, leaving Patton truly alone this time.
Oh
He
my
looked
god,
panicked and
this is
looked
so
down at his
good.
hands before taking a deep breath. The second time was Roman. He
Roman.
worked at a themed restaurant
Roman.
playing a character, as he loved to tell
So
people.
Roman is a
Never actually saying
character.
what character and where. For most characters led him into a mess.
So Roman is Thomas's creativity
hiding away
and his
his
hopes and
beautiful
dreams.
face from the world. A true crime indeed. On the side, he
Oh, it's his
performed at the
costume. So
local
that's what like
theater.
Roman
But he
wears
needed money
like
to pay
in
the bills,
every
and
episode.
he
He wears
was
like a
too
prince
energetic
outfit
and over
exactly
the
like
top
that.
for a normal
Oh.
shop he used to have before
Well,
he
my
was
mom
let
is
go.
an accountant, so
He
don't,
wasn't home
don't
alone,
be so
but
upset.
instead he was in the living room trying to find a movie to put on in the background.
Disney.
Flipping through the channels was a
He
fruitless
loves Disney,
endeavor,
like he's obsessed
and he
with
was
it.
seriously considering steal borrowing Virgil's DVD player and just putting on something himself.
Just steal it.
I thought the batteries were there in the thing.
Patton.
Roman looked at Patton, who stood in the
is he
doorway with a
watching?
single plastic bag
What
in
is
his hand. I ran to a store to get batteries for it and everything. Oh, Roman looked down at the remote and smirked. It started working suddenly. That's strange. Patton walked into the living room and dug a hand into his pocket. I thought I took the batteries with me to make sure I got the right ones. He pulled out 2 AAA batteries from his pocket and showed his roommate. Roman sat up straight and popped open the back on the remote. It was empty. It seems our remote is haunted, Patton. Roman dropped the remote on the couch and stood up, backing away, feigning terror. That doesn't seem remotely possible. Patton walked to the couch and picked up the remote. Oh, look at that! He turned and smiled at Roman.
Look at that!
How did that happen, you think? What's going on? Virgil walked into her room, warily eyeing Patton. The apartment is haunted! Virgil huffed at Roman's statement. Better start paying rent then. With that, he turned and walked out of the room.
Oh gosh, Virgil.
Come to think of it, Roman,
Virgil,
Patton reached into the bag and removed the batteries. Aren't you always shocking us with static? Maybe that's how it worked. What? Me?
Yeah.
No, must
You're
be
always
my
so happy.
positively charged personality. Nothing else. Well, unless you can generate electricity. Patton looked at the slightly panicked man, a look of realization washing over his face. Roman, can you make electricity? Roman forced
I don't want to spoil anything, because like I've already read the book, it's like the exact same.
Nonsense, Patton, that's not possible. You've been reading too many silly fiction
It's
novels
not
in the
book,
library.
it's
Your
fanfiction.
phone never loses charge. It has a good battery.
Like it's just a fanfic.
Right,
Hold
you
on.
held last week, and I thought the head drive wasn't even plugged into a wall. No, that's not true. It was simply, Roman looked around, like trying to think of an excuse. It has a battery too, of course. Roman, it's okay.
Do villagers have
Patton
batteries?
put down the
Is there
remote,
villager
walking
with
towards
battery? I
his
like to know
roommate,
about
holding
that.
his hands up carefully.
I believe there is.
I'm not scared,
actually never
okay?
heard of that.
Would it make you feel better if I told you a secret myself? No offense, Patton. Roman stood up tall, dropping his act. What secret could possibly be bigger than my static charm? You admitted it! And you made a pun out of it! Patton clapped, nearly
Except,
jumping up and down.
you know, Patton, that's
admitted
something
nothing.
strange about Jimmy. He
Roman
could
spun
duplicate
around
himself
and
into
marched into
2,
his
3,
room,
4,
leaving
5,
Smirking
6, and
Patton
oh, I
to
shouldn't have
replace the
explained
batteries, thinking about his dramatic roommate and the two seemingly normal ones. Unless...
Unless,
And
I
then
think
there was Virgil. Patton, can we talk? Virgil had heard
Earlier.
Roman and Patton the day before, and Roman had shut himself in his room afterward. Virgil's mind started racing. He and Patton had never gotten around to their discussion a few days earlier about how Patton wasn't super
Virgil
fast
just
and
looks
good
like
at cleaning, but
like
could
looks like
actually make
Thomas
physical
with like when he
duplicates
dyed
of
his hair.
himself. Patton nodded and sat on the couch, motioning for Virgil to sit. He shuffled his feet before sitting on the far side of the couch, curling his
Oh, Virgil!
I scared you, huh? Patton
That just
spoke
wears
softly and
socks.
carefully. The other day, I
think he is.
didn't mean to, that's why I kept it a secret. You were afraid of scaring us, because it's weird. Virgil spoke, looking down at the sleeves as he pulled them over his hands. You don't know why or how, but you can do this thing, and you're too scared to tell anyone. You have thought about this a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Patton, Virgil turned and looked at the man staring at him worriedly. I heard you talking to Roman. He looked down again. I didn't mean to, but,
He has his
seems
eyeshadow
like
on.
he has this thing that he can do too. Silence fell over the room. The conversation with Roman hasn't been solid proof, but Patton
Sorry.
had recognized the fear in Roman's face from the one he had just felt a few days ago. Our family is a little weird, huh? I wonder if Logan can do something.
You are
Virgil
correct,
whispered just
Logan
loud
can do
enough
something. I'm
for
not really
someone to
spoiling
hear.
them, we're gonna find out in 2
Cleared his
seconds
throat
that Logan
awkwardly.
can do something.
I mean, it would be weird that all of us somehow ended up in the same apartment, and he was the only one who couldn't. The words caught in his throat as he trailed off, but it was enough of a hint. He looked up and saw Patton's face bright with shock. Slowly, a smile swept his face. Virgil couldn't help but smile back.
Oh, Virgil!
Suddenly, Patton shut up with a gasp. House meeting! Quick, everyone, living room, now! We're having a house meeting! We do not live in a house, Patton. Logan walked in from his room, a book in
Logan,
his hand
very
that still
always
held his attention.
serious.
Whatever it
Common
is,
sense.
can it not wait for dinner? No No way, not this! Roman! Patton ran down the hallway shouting, "You don't have a ghost of a chance of missing this! Get out here!"
He's wearing socks, kindness. That's me. I totally wear socks all the time.
I don't know how he made that joke, but I'm still upset nonetheless. Logan walked forward
I don't know how
and
he
sat on
made
the
that
couch
joke.
where Patton had just gotten up from, never lowering his book. "I'm coming, no need to shove." Ignoring Roman's protest, Patton had shoved him on the couch between the other two and stood on the other side of the coffee table with his hands on his hips proudly. "What's gotten you all excited, huh?" Roman fixed his hair as if being bossed around the
Oh
Patton
my
somehow
gosh.
ruined it. "I have some shocking news to share." Roman groaned, and Virgil hit a smirk in his face, resting his elbow on the couch. "Is this about our so-called superpowers we seem to possess?" "I think we are all..." Huh? All eyes shot to Logan, who flipped a page in his book and continued reading.
Oh,
"What?
Logan.
When? How did you find out?" Patton was more confused and shocked than anything. Observation. Recognizing aspects and mannerisms I have of ones I've seen in you. He turned his head to read the next page. "Can you read minds?" Roman whispered. "I believe I have what is called psychokinesis, but yes, I can also read minds." "Ah, that's so cool, Logan!" Patton practically jumped up and down where he stood. "Wowie, we all have powers and we all share the same apartment. I mean, what are the odds?" "I guess, Patton, I know where you're going with this sentence. Please just, odds are infinitesimal." "You are the bane of my
Yes!
life." Logan finally puts his book down and took off his glasses to rub his eyes. "Next time
I'm sorry if you don't watch it. Like, you don't have to watch it to really, like, watch this. Because, like, it's all funny and, like, it's good. But, there's a joke in it that, like, where Logan one time misused the word infinitesimal. And, like, Pat always gets him back for that. Because, like, Logan's usually never wrong. Because he's always, you know, like, he's the smart guy. So, yeah.
Scrambled. "I promise you'll regret it." "Wait, all of us have some power?" Roman suddenly stood up. "Here I thought I was the misunderstood outcast, but we've turned this apartment building into a secret hideout." Roman's dismayed look quickly turned back into his bright and cheerful, yet overdramatic personality. "Do you know what all of us can do, bookworm?" Virgil spoke from hissing up the couch, muttering into his sleep. Logan had replaced his glasses back on his face, adjusting them unnecessarily. "Yes, I do. You and Patton have just discovered Roman's attachment to electricity, based on the shouts
Of course
and
you know what they all do, Logan.
How do you know that?" Roman looked down with a slight sneer. "You read our minds about that too?" "No, I simply connected the dots. Patton told me he went to get batteries for a remote, and I heard you flipping channels. Then your increasing yelling led me to believe you finally figured it out." "What about me?" Virgil spoke and uncurled himself, leaning forward to look at Logan. "You have me figured out
Oh
yet?"
gosh, I'm sorry.
Logan sighed and closed his book. "Look, when I use my powers, there is..." He waved his hand around as he decided on the word he was looking for. Luminous shine, if you will, from..." "Your eyes glow like Rudolph's nose!" Patton chickled at the realization. "That is accurate, I suppose." Roman turned and leaned closer to Logan, a grin growing on his face. "Care to demonstrate, Cyclops? Is that why you wear glasses?" "I do not use my powers.
Oh my
You
gosh.
needn't worry." He picked up his book
I
and
don't use my
resumed where
powers.
he had
Yeah, you don't use your
no need
powers.
to do something I can do
Yeah,
myself.
let's wait till more episodes.
Why wouldn't you want to use your Psy Super, I don't remember what you said. Patton admitted with a shrug. "Psychokinesis. He can move things without touching them." Roman and Patton turned towards Bertrand, who looked very brushing. I read comic books, okay?
That's true.
Well, what about you, Storm Crane? What power do you have? Mind sharing with the class?
I'm not sure.
Patton perked up. "No, mind sharing is what Logan does." Virgil smirked, looking up at Roman, but made no attempt to move. "Want to take a guess?" "Oh, is it your super smile? Oh, no, wait, your shining personality."
That's you.
Roman flashed a big smile toward the
That's
darker man on
you,
the couch.
Roman.
"I get it right." Virgil sighed and leaned back on the couch. "For someone whose powers are pretty bright, you're pretty lacking." Ignoring the protesting woman, Virgil looked back down at his hands. "I can stop and start time.
Yep.
I can move around when I do." "Is that why you always beat me to the last slice of pizza?" Patton spoke jokingly.
And that's how you're always
"Not after racing, I
appearing
can
everywhere.
come up behind you and take it without you knowing." That is totally unfair. You owe me so many
Like you
slices
do
of
in
pizza.
Santa sides, he just
Logan
appears.
stood
The
up,
other sides
staring
like
down the
rise
drunk
up when they
sight,
come. He's just
sneering at the grin that shone back at him. Hey, sometimes I let Patton have them. Oh, Merch, that's so sweet. Logan looked down and flipped the page in his book, listening to his roommates argue on. This time, however, a playful banter filled the living room, and he couldn't help but smirk.
Oh, that's it! Hey, that's that chapter! Oh my gosh, no, I want more, please, more. There's still a lot left. Wow, there's still like a lot left. I guess it's just the girl talking maybe. But like, wow, that was like really, really good. Like, she did good. And like, is that like the only, here, I'm just want to check her channel quickly. Is that like the only video she has? Wow. Oh, I love the picture she has with, Virgil and Pan. That's cute. Wow, that's a good animation. Good job. Like, I can't wait for you to make more. Like, I can't wait for the other ones to come out. I'm excited for you to make, I'm excited for you to make, the third chapter and probably the last 23 and 24 chapter. Cause, like, I'm excited for those ones. Cause, I'm excited for chapter 3 because, the next chapter, I believe that's when they start, like, trying to figure out how, like, what, like, they can do more with their powers and try and figure out more. And in chapter 2, they, work with, like, so the next chapter or episode is just say that they work more with, like, Roman and, like, they try and do tests on him. And not, like, tests, like, they try and do tests and see what, like, else he can do with his electrical charge. And in chapter 3, that's when they learn more about Virgil's. And, like, I'm excited for, like, how you, like, see, like, Virgil's, like, power using. Like, I'm excited for that. Like, that's gonna be fun. And I can't wait to see how, like, Logan's eyes glow. Because, like, it's interesting when you, like, read something. You're trying to imagine it, but, like, sometimes it's very tricky to imagine it. I try my best to imagine it, but, like, yeah, so yeah, I will leave this video in the description below, and in the description of this video, I believe that's where, like, where you can find the author right here. Like, that's, like, the author, so you can find here, and there's the story right there, and that's where I got the story, and, like, you know, her music and all this stuff here is right there. So I suggest maybe you should check that out. You can even read the book if you want to. It's really good. There's a sequel to it right now. The author's working on the sequel. She only has 5 chapters out because she releases a chapter. And, well, the sequel's really good, but also the lesson Practicality is good as well. And I'm excited for more episodes. Like, I really am. And I can't wait till, like, because you guys don't know what's coming. Like, a lot of stuff happens. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time. Megan, out.